back to game number 2 between Navi and Mouz. This is for Premier League week number 3, best of 3 series. Game number 2, where Mouz take a 1-0 advantage against Navi. Navi went for a 4-carry strat. And I think we made a mistake on the broadcast for game number 1. We said how Havos is Dendi, which in fact is Havos, which made a lot of sense if you thought about it. Dendi generally is the Invoker player, but they gave it to Pycat to play, who is actually a very good anti-mage player, who usually plays the anti-mage for CLG. But Havos played it because Havos is also the anti-mage player for Navi. So that was a little bit of mix-up. It was Dendi getting replaced. But no big deal. As we go to game number 2, I am Luminous from DotaComTears.com, and joining me alongside is DBalling773.
Yeah, really odd game 1, and Mouz, they're definitely looking forward to seeing if they can make a clean 2-0 sweep over Navi, but this is Navi, the best O2 team in the world, bar none, not even close, really. Or it can get close. Mouz, of course, riding a very, very hot streak as well. And after that convincing game 1 victory, regardless of the picks, Mouz, they looked pretty good shape. Of course, the picks had a pretty big factor. I don't think you can deny that. Yeah, he started the stage. So let's see what if Navi decides to pick a little bit more according to their strengths this game.
I'm going to put money on the fact that Navi is now going to play a normal game, or pick a normal game at the very least. But hey, if they want to do a Jungle Storm or Jungle Juggernaut, I'm cool with that too. We'll see. Of course, the ship bans are coming your way. We have Chen and Tidehunter being banned. Actually, Mouz banning up Tidehunter, despite Twista has a natural love for that hero. Always see him playing that hero. As we see on the other side, of course, Lycan ban, a little bit of respect against Fire's Furion.
Yeah, Furion definitely made a very, very strong game 1 opponent. Always pushing lanes, always providing a lot of pressure, and really synergized well with the Death Prophet in terms of pushing down towers and just dishing out a lot of AoE potential. So let's see if Mouz has any other tricks up their sleeve. They picked up the Death Prophet and the Morphling in game number 1, and they decided to ban the Darkseer, very mobile hero, although I haven't seen Navi pick the Darkseer, like, ever. So I'm not really too sure if Navi would pick them up regardless, but still, Darkseer is a very, very powerful hero in any stage of the game. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see how both teams approach this next game. And right now, Navi is 1-0 in the Premier League, but if they want to make it to 2-0, they're going to have to win 2 consecutive games over a very, very strong team in Mouse Sports.
Didn't they pick up that Enigma Black Hole and Darkseer combo in the Star Series?
I think that was PGG's Enigma.
No, I think PGG and his M5 squad was winning like game 3 or something like that. And then, of course, Navi haven't won a match by that point yet. And apparently that was a team fight that turned it around, like a 5-man black hole off a vacuum. I'm not sure. I'm just, hearing rumors and whatnot. But you viewers out there, you're probably more familiar with it. But in either case, you probably don't want Navi's first win with Darkseer to be against you, if that's the case. I'm receiving some files on Skype, but I will download them later. Anyways, so we are done with the first pick fan stage. Windrunner is going to be the pick here for Twista, favoring that hero quite a bit. Speaking of Windrunner, that hero has been with us for like 3 years now, right?
I looked in the Dota 1 replays. I think it was June 2010, where she was still first pick, first ban status. So please, Ice Frog, do something. This hero is really, really annoying. This is probably my least favorite hero in the competitive scene, just because she's in every game and her item builds have changed from Battle Fury for like 1 month, and then they basically been the same for the past year and 10 months. So
B-balling is not joking. There was a time where there's a rumor going on, which is false, where you could cleave with range because of Battle Fury. That was just fail. It did not work. But yeah, I'm not big for saying in terms of Ice Frog should balance this, Ice Frog should fix that. But I mean, when the hero's picked in the competitive scene for 2 freaking years straight, something's up. Something's up.
And of course, Shackle Shot being the #1 non-ultimate game-breaking spell in the game. Maybe not the best.
To me.
Yeah. Or I have to agree with you for game-breakingness. Maybe not the best non-ultimate spell, or most versatile, like Teleport, or maybe not the best consistent sound like Fissure. But I think in terms of breaking the game, in terms of switching momentum, things like that, Shackle Shot cannot be rivaled. Meanwhile, enough of Windrunner. We're going to see a Leshrac and Sand King, the opening picks for Navi, so a lot of AoE burst damage on the parts of Navi, picking up some very strong mid-game heroes, and it's nice to see that they didn't first pick 2 carries.
Very smart opening picks as well. Right from the get-go, you get yourself a very strong pusher that could go right from level 1. Also, you kind of get a counter pick right from the start as well. You know that Mouse love that Broodmother. You leave the Broodmother in the pool. You pick the Sand King, and then you're gonna tell Sexy Bambos like, "Come at me with a Brood. You want to pick it against my Sand King? Go ahead, try your luck." So very smart drafting from Puppy, and the ball is now back in Mouse's court. Let's see what they can pick up. And of course, if Mouse don't pick up the Brood, then we can see Puppy pick it up with the third pick. So, oh, they do. They're gonna do it anyways. I see your Sand King. I raise you with my Broodmother.
The battle of the many-legged creatures on its way, and of course Sand King fares quite well against Broodmother. Unfortunately, in the last game, Sexy and Sand King was shut down mostly because of ganks by Navi, but in the natural order match.
Yeah, I think Sexy Bumble was really winning the lane until those ganks came in. So.
Yeah, in the natural scheme of things, Sand King does quite well against.
Selection of Dota.
Right, the Darwinism of Dota. You can teach a class about that. Natural selection of these heroes.
You know I would. I mean, like, you know what? So there was one time there's a Broodmother, and then Sand King came along, and there's no more Broodmother.
Cool story, bro.
No, man.
Clearly an act. Gonna see Enigma pick. Enigma pick up for Mouz. Gonna go for that mid-game team fight potential with the Black Hole. Of course, very, very strong pushing with the conversions along with the Spiderling. So it's gonna be really, really tough with Nature's Prophet out of the pool. They probably have two of the strongest pushers in the game with these two picks. Of course, in terms of countering the push, looks like Navi, they're going to switch it up on Mouz. They're going to pick up the Krob themselves, seeing how well Sing Sing performed with that Krob, or the Death Prophet, in game number 1. And they have a lot of pushing. They have the AoE Silence, which can be quite devastating against Enigma, especially with its low cooldown. And they have a decent amount of AoE potential with the Epicenter and the all of Leshrac spells, basically. So smart picks up by Navi so far, I have to say.
Yeah, of course, we see Twista banning Vengeful Spirit, somewhat of a protection ban against the 4-year Enigma. Make sure that thing doesn't get swapped and put out of position. Don't be surprised if Puppy go into a Shadow Demon as well. It synergizes extremely well with the Death Prophet. Death Prophet pops the ultimate, drop up a couple of nukes, and the enemy team decides to focus on it. Well, a single disruption is going to solve all of that, especially when your Ghost is still flying around the map, dealing intense amount of damage. So, of course, Puppy in game number 1 showed that he has loved to pick it, although he was trying to do a funky jungle strat with it. So maybe I'm not sure if that was she's picking it just for that strat, but hey, we'll see. Of course, so far, I like Navi's pick a little bit better. They have a lot of pushing power, they have a lot of nuking power, and they're all ranged. Of course, Sankey's not a range hero, but he's going to get range when he gets his Blink Dagger, and he's going to get it very quick because he's going to be soloing against the Broodmother. I'm not as much liking Mouse's lineup. They don't seem to have too much synergy as we see Puppy again with his bans.
Yo, DK and Kunkka top of the metagame, clearly.
4 years ago.
Protecting a Lone Druid pickup. They're going to protect the Silverbear pickup.
They're going to pick 2 more carriers right now, and we're like, what?
Yeah, meanwhile, Enchantress, a pretty smart ban by now, is banning Puppy's signature jungle hero. Even though I haven't really seen Puppy play that recently, but Enchantress out of the way. Gonna be pretty good. Looks like Navi, they're gonna have to be a little bit limited. They might play the hardcore support Leshrac if they want to go that way in terms of getting the experience needed to support all their heroes. Of course, Leshrac can be played as a support, can also be played pretty much any role. He's one of the most versatile heroes in the game at the moment. And we're going to see a Puck ban. I know 60MO plays a Puck, but I think in this case he'd play the Brood. And I'm not really too sure where Puck would have fit into the Mouz hero pool in this game.
Again, I'm still in the sense that Puppy doesn't really care. He's just clicking heroes randomly. I do not see how,
Gonna ban the Empowering Haste. Best passive in the game.
I do not see how those heroes interact with Navi's lineup, but hey, he's banning them, so he's banning them. Shadow Shaman is going to be the 4th pick here for Twista, as we seems like we have a somewhat of a pushing strat going against Navi. I think Navi's completely prepared for this, though.
Right, in terms of stopping pushes, Navi, they know how to do it. They are one of the best pushing teams themselves. And yeah, they have the AoE burst energy, they have the spammable nukes, and they have Plague Lords, which cannot be bursted down by any sort of magical damage. Of course, in terms of magical pushing, I mean, there's not really too much that Mouz has. They have the Spiderlings, which is physical, they have the Conversions, which is physical, and they have the Mass Serpent Wards. Gonna see some hot ward-on-ward action when the Serpent Wards get dropped against the Plague Lords in the mid-game, but right now, just overall solid picks. Venomancer was a hero who was top tier for a long time, but it sort of faded out recently, mostly because he hasn't been getting enough experience in order to be really, really effective. So we'll see how Naya decides to play him in this game.
Well, hopefully he's gonna get some experience. Although the experience-hungry heroes such as Sanking, Lesh are probably gonna get the solo level. I assume Sanking is gonna get the solo level. The reason you pick him is for the Broodmother counter. So that's one solo lane out of the way. I do imagine Crobulus is gonna get a solo lane as well. Although we've seen in the past teams like M5 run the tri-lane Crobulus, so that's not unheard of as well. So probably Lesh or the Crop's gonna get the EXP. As we see Earthshaker being picked up. Last pick Earthshaker, a lot of rangeness coming in from Team Mouse and a lot of pushing power as well. So, I mean, in terms of stuns, Shackle Shot and Fissure, and the Blink Hex obviously from the Shadow Shaman, probably the best stun lineup you're going to get. The question is whether you're going to get the stuns and get the kills, and that's going to be vital, especially against a hero like a Croblis, who, even though if she's stunned, she could still burst out damage if Exorcism is up.
I feel like Mouse is sort of forced into this Earthshaker pick. I mean, if they wanted to pick up Earthshaker, then they probably wouldn't have banned Darkseer because he synergizes well with Enigma and Earthshaker. Mouse realized they don't really have a hardcore support, so I don't really see them play Earthshaker too much. I mean, of course, I'm sure that they have a very, very strong Earthshaker player nonetheless, but I don't know if they really intended him to be picked up in this lineup. So we're gonna see how he's played. If he's gonna be a roaming shaker, we're gonna see a fast blink dagger shaker. We're gonna see a laning shaker. A lot of interesting ways you can utilize that Earth Shaker. So meanwhile, Night Stalker, another Navi signature hero, looks like he will actually get some farm in this game. Perhaps we'll see.
Well, maybe too early to call. We'll see. Again, this is Navi we're talking about. You know, prepare
More
to
of a
be
standard Navi lineup though, unlike the last game.
That's true. But if we decide to see a double jungle Vano Lesh, you know, don't be surprised. I'm just saying. But anyways, let's look at who is playing what, as we're gonna be jumping the game right now. Of course, if you're just joining us along the broadcast, we're in game number 2 of a best of 3 series, and believe it or not, Team Mouse is up 1 game to none against Navi. If you missed game number 1, well, that thing is certainly worth a watch. It's going to be on the archive. It's going to be on the VODs. You guys check it out later on. And on the Dire Squad, let's see what we got. We got Stan and G going to be playing the Broodmother. Fire is going to be on the Earthshaker. Sexy Bamboo on Enigma. So is this a solo mid Enigma? He has a solo ring recipe right from the get-go. Sing Sing is going to be playing the Windrunner. And we have Twista on the support Shadow Shaman.
I think Enigma just sold that sewing recipe, picked up the ward, so we're going to see maybe a roaming shaker with the long lane Enigma.
That's probably the case, yes.
Yes, meanwhile we're going to see Shadow Shaman supporting G on the top lane. G played a nice Morphling, just basically got free farm and was able to win the game very, very soon. I don't know if it was just because of G or mostly because of the teammates because they won so early on. But G playing that Broodmother cannot be underestimated at any point in the game. Looks like now they're going to put all of their heroes up top, going to go for an early first blood. Twista, got to get out, man.
Twista should be fine. His hero's fairly slow, but not that much slower compared to a Venomancer. And looks like the Navi squad wants to drop off a couple wards on the top lane. Of course, Twista is completely prepared for that. He does have sentry wards ready. What we're going to see on this top lane is Broodmother and the Twista is going to lane together for a couple of levels. And once Broodmother maybe gets to level 3, we're going to see an army of Spiderlings being sent to the jungle. And then Twista should be jungling with the Spiderlings to get some EXP while the Broodmother gets some gold. A fairly common strategy we've seen from Broodmother teams, or teams that select Broodmother from time to time. And let's see what we got on the Radiant side. I'm not sure if you did the introduction, but I'll do it one more time. Pycat's going to be playing here on the Night Stalker, Arzart on the Venomancer. Mid lane here we have Havos going to be rushing a quick bottle on the Death Prophet. On the top we're going to see Light of Heaven playing a Sanking. It's a carry Sanking, and it's going to be a Puppy on support on the Lesh.
Yeah, I mean, we see Havos rushing that bottle, has 300 gold saved up, might even go for a soul ring, but bottle first. Krob, especially with all this gold save up, would be the logical choice in this case. And we're going to see a really, really defensive tri-lane on the top lane to protect the Broodmother. And like you said, Sand King usually fares quite well against Broodmother, except in this case when he's going to be pressured down quite heavily. And we're going to see Puppy on that support Leshrac. So Leshrac is not going to see too much farm coming his way, but he's still pretty versatile. I mean, one of the problems with the non-farm Leshrac is that he's really, really squishy, and we're going to see immediately protecting his wards like a madman. I know since you play sports, one of the biggest dishonors for your support is having your ward counter warded right in front of you.
It's like honor to like 9 generation of family being dishonored. That much. But this is some crazy warding that we've seen. Most teams we've seen just dump it over here, but this is a little bit different spot. We see Puppy actually use one of his tango to eat in here to place this ward. I'm not sure if that one is not seen. Probably isn't, because we haven't seen it de-warded. But once we have that one, the camp being blocked, I think Mouz would start to try to hunt that ward down. But first of all, you got a de-ward going on. Your Broodmother's not getting ganked just yet, or still surviving the lane just yet. I gotta say, Mouz having a slight advantage in this lane.
Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Sing Sing is being harassed quite heavily by Havost, and Havost is sending off the courier to him right away with the bottle in check. So Havost is doing a nice job pressuring Sing Sing, one of the strongest solo mid players in Dota 2 at the moment. He's going to pick up the bottle, he's going to be able to push the waves quite easily, and going to be able to get the rune access whenever he wants. There's a regen rune on top lane, a nice position by Havost, ushering Sing Sing away from the rune, and just keeping his positioning always top notch.
Yeah, you can see how Vo's just nuking away. He knows that he has a magic model regen. He sees a regen rune on the top lane. Although here comes Twista. He might be getting it, but Puppy in position as well. The stun is going to ward him off. And here we go. Regen rune up on Death Prophet. And that's going to basically win him the lane. Unless Sing Sing gets a gank or do something crazy.
Yep, Sing Sing is going to be ushered off even more so. He has, let's see what he has on the courier. He has the ball himself coming his way, but it's going to be a couple seconds before it reaches him. And meanwhile, Light of Heaven is level 3 right now, has 1 point into stats, 1 point into Barrow Strike, or is probably saving that second point into Barrow Strike until he really needs it. And 1 point to Sandstorm. Is going to pop the Sandstorm right now, picked up the second point right then and there. And right now, Sing Sing is in a lot of trouble. Venom Scale is going to be dropped right off the bat. Shackle Shots to save Arzar, or to try to shackle Arzar in place, but Puppy managed to pick up the first blood, and Sing Sing and getting Krob off to such a very, very strong early start is not going to be too nice for Mouz.
What an aggressive gank going to the mid lane. You don't expect a gank like this against a Windrunner who generally has one of the best escape early on. I mean, Gale behind the tower on a Venomancer generally means death for your Venomancer because, I mean, he's such a squishy support and your diving tower like this. They did take some damage, but they got the first blood against Sing Sing, and all this trouble is happening because Hovos is getting a little bit out of control. He does have go for boots of speed right now, and is still nuking away with a lot of charges left in his bottle because he had a regen rune. So right now, Sing Sing just getting all, or Havos is getting all these advantage on the mid lane. It's not going to bode well for Sing Sing.
Oh, bot lane Arzar might be in a lot of trouble. Conversions are going to be there right off the bat, and Twister is going to be able to shackle down Arzar very easily, and Arzar is going to take the fall. Looks like Twista picked up that kill, so a little bit unfortunate for Sexy Rambo, having a little bit of a tough time on the bot lane. Pycat is quite high leveled already, picks up the boots and Stout Shield, 500 gold in the bank, so pick up an earn very, very soon, or if he goes for the bottle, he can do that as well. Looks like they're going to switch Twista up to help Sexy Rambo out a little bit, because Sexy Rambo was not faring too well, has 800 gold in the bank, but other than that, not going too well, and G is going to be able to handle himself just fine with the Soul Ring in place.
We're just seeing so much great hero movement from the support cast of Na'Vi. We see Puppy roaming all of the map, started at the top lane. Venomancer started at the bot lane, and they just completely switched up. Of course, the lane switch is done very methodically at the correct times. They're done whenever there's a rune spawn, so I'm not sure if, to make sure they grab every single rune, but it's looking pretty. So far, every single rune has been taken by the Na'Vi squad. And of course, on the
top lane, Fissure Block manages to trap Arzar in, and Venomancer dies once more, and G picks up the kill with the spawn spiderlings. I don't know if you caught that.
I did not, but I'm sorry.
I will never forgive you.
Yeah, okay, I'll try not to miss any more kills. And G has an army of spiderlings. Again, I'm not sure if he's sending into jungle. Hopefully he's not sending it straight into the sandstorm. Probably not the best place for them to go.
Probably not the best place to send them in the middle of a sandstorm. Just saying.
Just saying, it's not a good strat. We're going to see a little bit bottle crawling from Hovos because he didn't miss one of those runes spawn on the bot as Puppy picked that one up. But yeah, we're seeing a little bit of pulling from Puppy as well. He's leading level 3 just off roams and kills. That's pretty good if you ask me. Diabolic Edict is going to be his skill choice. Top lane is going to be a kill that I hopefully would not miss. Like having a little bit of trouble. He's going to Burrow Strike across Fissure, no big deal.
And one of the things we always harp on is Sand King fares quite well against Broodmother, but right now, with all the support that G received, Sand King is only level 4, not even very close to level 5 at all. Meanwhile, Broodmother is halfway to level 7, so doing very nicely as well. Light of Heaven is going to be harassed even more, so Broodmother is surprisingly winning this lane with ease in this case.
I guess the couple of ganks got himself a little bit of level advantage. Lesh was able to take a couple of level points as Twist was pulling, so Broodmother's getting basically solo EXP while Light of Heaven sharing his EXP. And the EXP stacks up, and now he's going to be very so ahead. He's going to soon to start using the Soul Ring just on the Sand King and keep on harassing and make sure that Light of Heaven will be out of region. But again, he's building up his Spiderling army, getting more farm in the jungle as well. So G is going to be absolutely out of control in just a couple of minutes.
Right, and in terms of anti-push, Navi has pretty good. They have the Krob spam, they have the Lesh spam, so they're going to be alright in terms of dealing with that. Meanwhile, there's going to be a fight for the rune. Looks like Havos is going to be able to... No, Sing Sing is going to rush in, going to be able to pick up the Invisrune. What a play. And most action we've seen a little bit in this game, and Havos is going to hit Sing Sing down quite hard. Meanwhile, Twisted is going to come in from the rear. Let's see if Havos realizes. Havos does back off in the nick of time. Shackle Shot does not latch, and the Carrion Sword manages to hit. Couple heroes. Looks like Twisted might be in a little bit of trouble. Pycat is going to rush in, is going to try to get one hit off, and Sing Sing pops the Invisrune, and Twisted might be in a lot of trouble. No, Pycat decides to retreat. I think he realizes he might have been shackled under the tower, and he's only level 5 at this point in the game, so he's not the tankiest hero, although he does have 1k HP.
Pycat's not done yet. He won Sexy Bambo. He's going to find a Void on Sexy Bambo, a little bit of trouble. He's going to drop a Malefic's Tower, focusing on Arzard, though. Arzard might die before. Yes, Sexy Bambo gets a kill before he dies. What a play. I mean, he surely don't expect to get anything in return, but hey, that's a trade that he was willing to take. Unfortunately, his tower might be in a little bit of trouble. Still microing those Eidolons like a boss, getting some last hits in. You know, a true farmer farms even in death. ZSMJ-esque, man, right there.
That's some, Art of War stuff right there. A true farmer farms even in death. As Twister tried to go for a gank on Puppy, but the Diabolic Edict rushes him away. Pycat is going to come in, going to be able to pick up a kill on Twister. Will he die in the process? Looks like Pycat will be able to escape just in the nick of time. Let's see if Sing Sing can... No, he's going to earn up and he'll be just fine. Meanwhile, Sing Sing is going to try to cut off Pycat, but Pycat is a little bit too fast, and this first night is going quite well for the Night Stalker. Meanwhile, Light of Heaven channels his ultimate on the top lane. I don't know if he got a lot of spiders, but he didn't get the Broodmother. So, not really too sure.
Healthy in terms of HP as well, so I just think he just missed, so I'm not sure about that. I gotta say, the lack of warding for Mouz right now is hurting them so much. Pycat is just roaming across this river spot, basically unseen every single time, and that's not what you need against Night Stalker. I'm so surprised that we don't see wards being replaced. Against the Night Stalker during nighttime, here we go, Twista's gonna drop that one down. Back on the bot lane though, it looks like Navi in a little bit of trouble. Puppy survives just barely. The Fissure's gonna be a little bit off. The last tower shot's gonna get the kill. They're not gonna chase down the Venomancer, but you know, it's fine. Again, here comes the Night Stalker. He's just doing so much ganking done right now. Sure, they're not getting a lot of kills, but he's keeping Sing Sing back. Exorcism is cast. And Sing Sing, he thinks he's safe, but he's probably not that safe.
Cue Joss theme sound as the courier rushes away. Sing Sing is going to be able to escape just fine. And looks like this tower might be defended with another TP in by Fire. Fire is level 6 with a roaming Earthshaker. So nicely done by Fire. Pycat might be in a lot of trouble. He gets shackled up. He's going to get power shotted as well. Can they get a couple more hits? Shackle Shot does not latch, but they manage to pick up the kill. Nicely done. Nice chain stuns by the Mouse Sports, even though they didn't have the Hex up on Twista. But in the meanwhile, Havos managed to pick up a tower on the mid lane, so a little bit of gold going Navi's way, even if the hero kills and the top lane is not going their way.
I gotta say, probably a good trade. You lost like a kill on Night Stalker, that's like 15 seconds of his time, but you got a tier 1 tower, a mid-tier 1 tower to beat, because that thing is really important for Roshan. Night Stalker's gonna port back somewhere and get a gank off. It could be a top, especially with the dust. That would be very, very strong in combination of a Sand King Burrow Strike. No Epicenter just yet. Let's see what is gonna be his choice. He's kind of roaming around. Yep, he is gonna be going to top lane. No dust though, so that's gonna be an issue. I'm not sure if they're gonna get this gank off without detection.
Meanwhile, Puppy is going to pressure the bot lane quite heavily. Going to do a couple more pulses of Edict damage to that tower. Just checking out skill build. 3 points in Edict, 2 points in Splitter. Pretty standard for Leshes these days, although Lesh can switch up his skill build with Impunity. Meanwhile, Sing Sing is going to spot the rune top, Haste Rune, so he's going to be able to survive quite easily, but going to have to worry about Havos. He hasn't been ganked at all, and he's been farming pretty uninterrupted on that top lane. And meanwhile, Sing Sing might be in a little trouble. He casts a Haste Rune, and he's going to run. Where is he running?
Where the hell is he running to? He wants the Sand King. He hits a Burrow Strike. Are we gonna power shot? Sing Sing in a little bit of trouble. Bottle up, my friend. Bottle up. You could bottle under. Yes, indeed. He's balling. G is looking for the kill. As we see Pycat just ushering him away. Sand King still in the trees. He's gonna be fine. Fissure gonna be dropped. One. That could have turned out really badly for Sing Sing. Sing Sing, despite having a pace rune, had to pour home.
Yeah, he sort of rushed, going all out, Leroy Jenkins style for that Sand King. Unfortunately, Sand King managed to escape just barely. Light Light of Heaven has a lot of experience managing that hard lane, so even though he's not doing too well against his Brood Mother has 450 gold in the bank. The courier is being shipped off to him. Let's see what it's got. He has a Ogre Axe, or Ogre Club, my bad, even though it's clearly an axe. He's gonna go for a very fast BKB. What do you think about this choice, man?
BKB is going to be decent against all the magical damage. Only thing that's going to hit through it is going to be the Diabolic Edict, which is, not that reliable in a team fight, and the Exorcism, which can be very reliable. So it's okay. It's definitely okay. Give him a lot more survivability as well. It allows him to run in and charge in against heroes like Venomancer, Night Stalker, and whatever else. As we see Sing Sing Shackle shotting the Venomancer, nicely done. And looks like I think he's going to go down, especially the Malefice on top. Splitter's going to miss, and Puppy's got to back off. Sexy Bambo wants a little bit more, but they're not going to give chase. 1,000 go up on Sexy Bambo. Is it going to be a Blink Rush? Is it going to be a Arcane Boots? We will see, but as we see kill on the top lane, Broodmother gets a solo kill. Here comes Pycat. He wants, oh, that's slow. Probably meant for the Shaker. Shaker just came out, and he should be okay, but Pycat, he's going to keep on chasing. No more mana on fire, but nicely he dodged one, but I think Pycat's going to get another void. That's yet another kill. No teleportation coming in from Team.
Oh,
Can he get
Havost!
a kill on Havost? Will it be enough? No, it's not. And G in a little bit of trouble. G's going to go down as well. The Herb might be doing it. Yes, the second void's going to be able to do it. A lot of action happening on right now.
Some nice maneuvering by Navi as they managed to pick up 2 kills on the top lane, stop the really, really farmed Broodmother, and are going to drop the Exorcism. And with that, I don't know if Mouz is in position to defend this tower, and they're going to be able to pick up this tower. The Spirits will be able to hit up Havost to near full HP. Has the Headdress of Rejuvenation. Might either go for the Pipe or go for the Mechanism. Picking up the Headdress first probably means he's going to go for the Mechanism first. Going for the Arcane Boots, going to go for more of a team support build. Meanwhile, I don't think Mouz will be able to pick up this tower in the mid lane, as I unfortunately missed that kill on the top lane. Can you tell me what happened?
Just poured it in thinking he's balls trying to drop an Epicenter or Echo Slam off, but there was a key silence from Havost, and under the Ghost of Exorcism, he went down in a blink of an eye. So big mistake, I think, in Fire's play. And of course, that's one more kill to Havost. Havost, I think, will be going for the mech, kind of a standard build from SS, mech Vanguard to make them extremely tanky. Of course, Vanguard, or excuse me, Mecha gives you a lot more HP if you pop the heal off. A lot more HP than a Vanguard, because it gives you armor as well. But here we go on the bot lane. Looks like they want to kill against Sing Sing. Sing Sing does not have a Force Staff just yet, does have Phase Speed, but all they really need is a single Burrow Strike, and Sing Sing's probably dead.
And just to sort of notice the lack of experience on the Shadow Shaman, not even level 6, 14 minutes in the game, he's going to be pretty much useless aside from the disables. I mean, his Serpent Wards will get mowed down quite easily since he hasn't had too much experience. So Twista is not really having a fun time so far in this game, and they might need the Serpent Wards to help defend. Without the Exorcism, though, they might be able to handle themselves just fine, especially since Vost is not anywhere near the picture. And 6 is going to teleport in, but how do you think of Twista? Do you think the choice to not have Twista get any experience is the right one by Mouz?
I think so, because their playstyle requires Sexy Bambo to get big, they require Sing Sing to get big, and there's only so much EXP to go around. Looks like they want some Shackle Shot. It's not going to last. Sexy Bambo gets Burrow Strike. It's going to go down very quickly. Sexy Bambo not getting support. He's going to go down, trying to get himself out there. Echo Slam on all 3 or 4. Sing Sing's going to get 1 kill. Black Hole on 2, but he dies immediately. Here comes the Broodmother trying to get some damage done. He's going to work on Puppy. Puppy trying to TP out, gets Shackle immediately. Great play here from Mouz. Going to get a big team fight victory as Mouz, Sing Sing, and the Broodmother get a couple kill, but Pycat also was in there as well. Pycat trying to run out. It is Hunter and Knight, and he's going to be able to run out just fine. But that was, in my opinion, in victory. They lost Mouz, which is their only farmer, but they got a Sand King, they got a Venomancer, and a Lesh. That's a pretty big win in my opinion.
Right, but I think you still have to keep in mind that Night Stalker and Krob have... let's just check out the deaths really fast. 1 death in between those 2, and if you leave them uninterrupted, they're going to be in a lot of trouble. I don't think Mouz is out of the woods by any stretch of the imagination, and especially with the Vost getting a lot of free farm. Pycat has 1,300 gold in the bank, is smoking deceit, going to be able to pick up whatever he wants with this next item, and the Mechanism recipe is shipped out to Havost, so he's going to be able to pick that up. And with the Mechanism and with the Exorcism, Black Hole is down, so I think Navi can go for a push if they really want to.
Yeah, nighttime is going to be over, or in fact it is over already, so Probably not unless they want to pop that ultimate just for the push. We will see if that's the case. Sanking trying to get his way up to a Blink Dagger. Just finished the Arcane Boost. No Blink Rush in this case. Sexy Bambo, in that early engagement, I thought he charged him a little bit too aggressively, but he still gave it a got off his stun. And also like 1 second Black Hole before he got picked off. That was pretty good. It bait out a lot of stuns and allowed his teammates to come in. I don't know where that Shaker came in. He kind of just sneaked his way in, as awkwardly that sound for a big strength hero. But yeah, he snuck it in and dropped off a big epicenter. And there should be a tree or unit behind me. Okay. I think he's Shash talking at Shaco shot against Sing Sing, who just fired it off. Is that what it's talking about?
Hey, it's like the Marana arrows and the Pudge hooks. You can't shackle if you're not going to attempt them. So Sing Sing says thanks for the lesson. Nice little bit of friendly banter going on from both sides. As Havos might be able to pick up free tower. No, he's going to pop the mechanism and is going to retreat. Tower not in deny range. Nope. He's not going to be in deny range, so about 1400 damage done to that tower by one Crobolus ultimate, so they're not going to need to use it again to bring down that mid tower, and they're going to pressure the bot tower. They don't have the ultimate. Tower is still very, very healthy HP, so right now, Na'Vi, even though they're down in kills, they're being aggressive, and they are up in terms of the gold earned, just because of the tower pushes.
I mean, even though Mouse is leading, I gotta say, Na'Vi is leading, and Go Chart doesn't lie. 2k to go lead. As we see Burrow Strike on Sing Sing, a lot of teleportation comes in. Sing Sing, can you nuke him down? He's okay for now. Huge Echo Slam again. Sexy Bambo comes in, no Black Hole just yet. He wants Light of Heaven. Light of Heaven very, very low. Nice Stalker comes in right now. Sexy Bambo half HP. There's a Burrow Strike. Burrow Strike, no, yes, he does Burrow Strike on Twista. Twista goes down as well. Sexy Bambo trying to go for the kill. Havos very, very low. Looks like he is going to go down. Brumo doing the right clicks. Sexy Bambo still alive, just barely though. G's still doing the right click. Is he going to bring down anyone though? I think he's seen there's Sentry Ward on the ground. Pycat, it is daytime, so he's a lot slower than he usually is. It's kind of a lot of running and not much killing going on. But at the end of the fight, you lost.
It was 2 for 2.
Alesh, 2 for 2?
Yep, 2 for 2.
You lost a Windrunner though, but I guess that's not really helpful in that trade.
Right, and keep in mind, again, Havost and Pycat still surviving all these team fights. G is going to provide a little bit of pressure on Havost, but looks like the darkness is popped. BKB is up. Unexpected turn of events for Na'Vi. Can they outrun it? Looks like Havost is just fast enough with that Witchcraft, and he's going to be able to escape just fine. Darkness is popped, so he's going to be able to outrun the Malphus. Can they get a body block going on Pycat? Mechanism is popped. Shackle Shot does not latch to anything. That is not a tree. That is a banner. As Pycat is going to go down, Soul Ring. The Spawn Spiraling gonna pick off Pycat with the last dying breath.
And so you want to keep on chasing, as Havos is just leading them into this long journey across the land. But guess what? Blue's doing in the mid lane, trying to push that down. He's popping his Diabolic already. That's not too helpful. A single teleportation is going to come in here. Yeah, right now, even though, again, more kills going to Team Mouse, Radiant is leading the way. They're getting better positioning. They're destroying a little bit more towers. And Fire might just be in a little bit of trouble. He already used his fissure. Puppy is just waiting. He sneaks by and gets a kill. He might be actually paying with his life though, but it should be okay. It should be okay. They're gonna go in for Sexy Bambo. Can we get off a split earth? That's not gonna hit. Sexy Bambo's gonna run out just fine. A Gale comes in here from Arzar. Can we get a Black Hole? That's a question. Sexy Bambo's gonna go down to right click. Twista in a little bit of trouble as well. Right now, Na'Vi just have more number in any portion of the map given in any single team fight. Na'Vi has not been the ganking. They are the aggressor. And against the Team Mouse, who is generally very aggressive in their own right, I gotta say, Na'Vi is beating Mouse in their own game. Exorcism pop on the mid lane. They want high ground. And they're gonna go straight up. We're only 90 minutes in the game. And Havos is just going right at the racks. No glyph. You gotta keep in mind it was used to defend the tier 2 earlier. A little bit of engagement happening.
Oh my god, that tower melted!
Yes, the Rax is going to melt as well. Brewmother teleports in. Not the best place. He wants to be in Havos. It's just going to tank everyone up. Vanguard is not up just yet, but he has to mech a lot of mana to use it as well.
Looks like now they're going to back off right now. They picked up a tier 3 tower, tier 2 tower with relative ease, and they picked up a couple hero kills. So Na'Vi, they're looking pretty strong right now. Unfortunately, Sexy Mambo has not been able to get his ultimate off for any of these team fights, just taking out his HP pool. He has a mechanism, but 910 HP is not really too much for Enigma, and he doesn't have a Blink Die or anything to get himself in position for that Black Hole. Meanwhile, Pycat, as a point booster, is going to pick up the Haste Rune, and Havost is really starting to become a big problem for Mouz. He has 2700 gold in the bank, has the Mechanism Arcane Boots. They're going to lose the tier 1 mid tower, but that's just going to be a small blip in the gold chart. That is Navi's advantage, and they might even defend this mid tier 1 tower as well. Can they get the deny off? No, Sexy Rambo nicely last hits it. So they managed to get something out of that at least.
Smoke is popped immediately, but the Radiant does know, as Night Stalker definitely saw that, immediately ping. They want bottom, but Light of Heaven is already, getting out of there. He does have the Blink Dagger finish through the chaos of all those team fights. Looks like they're going to swing around on the mid, trying to get a kill, but I do somehow believe Na'Vi is completely prepared for this.
Oh, Light of Heaven.
He's gonna eat a Malice for sure. Can he get up kill? There's a Malice. Shackle Shot's gonna hit. There was a unit behind him, and the Light of Heaven definitely was not appreciate that Havos gave him that Shackle Shot lesson earlier on. Teamfight still breaking out over here as we see. Twista gonna eat a stun. No, Puppy in a little bit of trouble. Do you have Hex or Shackle? That stun slowing them down. We have a stun coming up. Oh, looks like Puppy's gonna be there for sure. I think, yeah, Shackle Shot, a couple more right clicks. But here comes the Pycat on the backlines, trying to get a kill on Twista. Twista's gonna be going down. He gets Hex. Do we have a Black Hole? Silence on 3 or 4. That's gonna be big. Exorcist's gonna be dropped. Sexy Bambo's gonna go down. No deny on him right now. Death Prophet gets a kill. Pycat still chasing in. He might be in trouble. Finally, are we gonna have yet another Shackle Shot? Our Shot comes in, still alive for now. And Bruma is slowly doing that damage. Shackle Shot not latching at this point. We're gonna have a spawn spiraling right on Arzar. Will that kill him? No. Shaker goes down. It looks like Bruma on the run. He's constantly seen War Trap! War Trap! My goodness! Oh my, you are too good.
That was nicely done. I was really surprised everyone did not pop the BKB at all during that case. But still, brilliant, brilliant ward trap by Arzart. What a play. They want to go for Roshan, but no, they don't have the physical DPS need. They don't have Medallion or anything like that. And the ultimate for Krablus is down. So they're going to try to push down top lane in the meanwhile. But in these chaotic team fights, it's Navi that's coming ahead, surprisingly enough. And with the massive AoE potential that they have right now, and Black Hole is still not being channeled for any of these team fights, Sexy Rambo is just getting completely focused and silenced and all of that. So Enigma is not really being too effective in these long engagements.
One of the key points we had in these matches, how will Mouse respond to being in a deficit? Trust me, they are in a deficit right now, although we are, Navi's only leading by 5,000 gold. And, they're only down by, or excuse me, they're even up by 1 kill Team Mouse. But right now they are down in terms of hero movement, in terms of level, in terms of items. It looks like they're going to try to get a Roshan in return, but Havos is already in position just by himself. I think he could just distract long enough until his teammates come in. He's so tank, he's not even afraid of death. He does have a bottle with the regen as well as a Reaver. That Vit booster was not for a Vanguard. It was for a late game heart. Wards gets dropped. They try to bring down this Roche. I don't think it's going to work out. Of course, very low on the mana is Death Prophet, but here comes Night Stalker.
Shackle Shot latches on 2.
Looks like they want to hold Volts. Are we going to have a Black Hole for that? Fissure does hit on 2 as well. Sankin comes in with a huge epicenter, trying to kill Sexy Bambo. That's just used on him. We got Volts went down, so G is the biggest DPS machine at this point, trying to get some damage done against. Ooh, epicenter gets dropped on 2. By the way, Puppy has a Ghost Scepter. That's why he's actually being able to run away from G. Venomancer gets dropped. Burrow Strike on 3, and that's everyone kill except G. G trying to solo carry this. He just doesn't do enough damage because these guys are so carry and they're so tank. A lot of wards being dewarded. They're going to go into Roche, but still not having enough physical DPS output. But I guess if you're going to pop the Diabolic Kick, that should be enough. A big team fight won. That was a team wipe just for a Death Prophet. And I think Navi's happy to go for that trade. A couple buybacks here. They want a little bit more. Enigma, again, he does have the Black Hole. Drops off a Midnight Pulse, trying to get some damage. Pycat is getting bashed by Roche. This is very close. There's no Blink Dagger on Enigma. He's going in for the Black Hole. He's going to get off. There's a Black Hole on everyone. The question is, where's the damage coming in?
Oh my god, that's...
Gets 2 solo kill. Not the biggest DPS machine, but looks like he's going to get a 3rd kill.
Oh, what
Triple kill. He's gonna get the Roshan return. Huge plays from Team Mouse. Oh, smiley face. We got ourselves a Dota game, ladies and gentlemen.
What a... That was... My mind is blown by that Black Hole. Just walk in, just swaggering in, not giving a crap about Navi, the scariest Dota 2 team in existence. Channeled the full duration of the Black Hole, low HP, Roshan just bashing it off, this Power Shot doing the most of the physical damage, and then picking up the tier 2 tower. Meanwhile, Navi, how are they going to respond to that? They're still looking okay, but that... I don't know, man. That was just a little crazy.
Yes, in case players do not know, Black Hole does do damage, although it's never channel for the damage part. It's channel for the stun. But hey, Sexy Bubble says, my Black Hole do big damage, and triple kill, no problem. Sexy Bambo, legendary player, but it looks like we're going to have a little bit of engagement in the jungle. Fire trying to giddy his way out of there. He should be fine. Nice fissure block, just slowing it down. There's no supports coming in, and Havo's going to back off. Let's quickly check out what we're going to have in terms of the item, because this game is very epic. We're going to have a, kind of a momentary pause as both teams waiting for the cooldown of their ultimates. Item-wise, we have a Ghost Scepter up on Navi. He was able to, or excuse me, on Puppy. That's why he was able to survive against the Broodmother for quite a bit of time. Ogre Club as well. He's going to be going for the BKB. We have Heart already finished on Havo, so he's going to be even tankier than before. Which, by the way, because Havos got his regen ring cancelled, I'm not sure if he got off his exorcism in the last engagement. I think that proved to be vital. But right now, Navi says, we're going to win the game right now. No more shenanigans. I know your black hole is down, and I'm going to pop my exorcism and go in your racks. What are you going to do about it? There is a glyph ready up, but how are you going to defend against exorcism? Big damage coming your way.
Oh, the fissure block is isolating Havos completely. Beautiful fissure by fire, and Havos is completely cut off from the rest of his team. Sand King is going to channel a giant epicenter, and a double kill going on immediately. It looks like the Havos died immediately, and Arzite was soon to fall buyback right off the bat. Mouz is going to defend this very, very adeptly.
Mouse defended it without having Black Hole, didn't even need to use a glyph. Light of Heaven had to back out. That was a huge fissure on the ramp, and no one was able to come in. It suddenly was Sanking and Necropolis by itself, and that got focused by 3 or 4. We had a buyback on Team Dire, and of course Sing Sing uses Aegis, but you defended your racks. I think that's well worth it. 2 kills, and now you got some time to push out in the creep equilibriums. But they got to worry about mid. Sure, you got your 2 side towers, the tier 2 towers up, but Navi wants a racks. We might see Navi repeatedly push up this ramp, kind of a little bit reminiscent of Navi versus eHome back in the International 2, where there's one game where Navi just kept on pushing mid, kept on pushing mid, kept on pushing mid, massive buybacks. We might be setting up ourselves for a very, very epic game of Dota.
Right, the gold graph is slowly coming back to even. 2,500 gold is all the difference that is in favor for Navi. They do have the heart on the Death Prophet, and I think if Death Prophet manages to position herself a little bit better, if they don't, that fissure was just so huge in terms of isolating Death Prophet completely, and she just got completely focused and got bursted down immediately. But if they manage to keep the Death Prophet alive, she has the Exorcism back online, but keep in mind Black Hole is up as well, and no Epicenter at the moment. Although it will be up for the next fight.
By the way, G is going to be going for a Yasha. He has it already. 3,200 gold in the bank. Don't be surprised if he doesn't upgrade to a full Manta style. A lot of players like to get the Yasha just for that 10% of movement speed bonus. Being the melee hero, you do need every little bit of movement bonus you could get to help chase. He probably is going to go back for MKB or maybe a little bit of a better damage item. Because, I mean, Manta style doesn't give you too much damage, especially under the things like Exorcism and Epicenters. Your Manta style images will die very, very quickly. No Roshan is up, so Team Mouse is going to be farming it up just a little bit. Sexy Bambo being very aggressive with his farming, going all the way in no man's land at this point. He has bought himself a
BKB.
Yep,
he had 4k gold in the bank, just brought it right all at the same time, and there is nothing on the Radiant side that goes through it. No swap, no roar, no lasso, nothing like that. So this BKB, when it's channeled, it will be channeled to the fullest. Unless he somehow gets physically right-click DPS down.
Which is quite possible. There's a Crobless in the game. That Exorcism, again, even if you're channeling the Black Hole, if you right-click the Enigma, those ghosts will go towards, oh, this courier's coming. G's gonna get himself a courier kill. Come on. Oh, come on. I don't care there's a tower dying right now. I want to see. Okay, good.
Clearly you have your priorities straight. At least G does in any case. But with G sort of caught in the middle of nowhere, they know where G is. So they're going to just push this tower relative ease. But courier kill almost makes up for that goal difference right there.
Yep, and of course G does have a teleport scroll. In fact, he's going to pressure the mid lane a little bit. But Duke, watch out for the gank. G's he's kind of stuck in no man's land. He doesn't want to go forward, but kind of dangerous to go backwards as well. So it's going to just drop a ward in the... drop a web in the mid lane, just chill out here. But tier 2 tower being pushed down, not the biggest loss here for Team Mouse at this point. 22-25. This is game 2 out of game 3, best of 3 series for these two teams. Mouse took game number 1. And this is, well, can Mouse actually win this? I think they are in a position to actually, it's a very winnable game.
It is, but keep in mind the things that we always talk about in regards to Broodmother. I think 715, one of the Broodmother players in Dota 1 said once she hits that 40-minute mark, as teams start to pick up Ghost Scepters, Force Staffs, she loses her effectiveness quite rapidly, and the BKB duration is down to 7 seconds. And in terms of physical DPS, I mean, Broodmother is still the main force, but the supports will get tankier and tankier, Ghost Scepters will be picked up, so it's really going to come down to, as usual in any late game situation, the black hole and how fast it can pick off heroes individually to make it a lopsided teamfight engagement. They tried to pick off Light of Heaven, but that was the end of that.
This is a very aggressive smoke gang from Mouse because Broodmother was nowhere near that engagement. If it broke out, it's going to be a 45 for a little bit. Of course, Navi's not that well positioned himself in that given moment, so neither team wants to take the team fight. And looks like Mouse might be going for a top push. And again, if a game boils down to a situation like this, Radiant, I think they have the better advantage. Again, we talked about Broodmother only have 48 minutes, but then I mean, Death Prophet, he doesn't go mad late either. He's getting nothing but defensive items. He's not going for a Hex that's going to give him a little bit better late game extension. He's going for a Ghost Scepter, trying to help himself to survive a little bit better. Physical DPS is coming on big and fast. There's a Medallion Courage somewhere on the Dire Squad as well, so they can physically DPS quite quickly. We do see Eagle Song being picked up on the Broodmother, and seems like Navi says, yeah, you can take our tier 2 top. We're going to go for your Rax instead. Here it comes. We can go right in. There's Glyph and there's Black Hole. Puppy trying to rush in. He gets War Trap. Black Hole just for one. If you get a kill, you get a kill, right? Hey. And here comes the Epicenter comes in. Not the best one, but it's going to hit on 2 support. Venomancer drops his ultimate as well. Mecha's going to get popped. Are we going to go for Left Heaven's going to pop his Ghost Scepter, I assume. And it looks like Left Heaven is still in the middle of things, trying to ward everyone away. Pycat, very low HP. He's going to go down. Yes, indeed. Broodmother trying to chase. He's not going to get the kill. G trying to get out. He's in a little bit of trouble. The question is, does he have buyback? And the answer is yes, he does. He's going to buy back immediately. Meanwhile, Left Heaven gets Shackle up to the tree. I think it's going to be yet another successful defense. Exorcism is done at this point, and I don't really think that Navi will be able to push up on the high ground.
Sand King buys back. Not really too sure, but they really want it. Wards are dropped really defensively just for a moment, but meanwhile the Venomancer wards are going to start to get stacked up. G as uses buyback as BKB is on cooldown, so maybe Navi realize, okay, we'll take this team fight without the Black Hole, without the BKB up. Havos is still so very tanky with the heart, and he's going to be able to do more right-click damage, and I think slowly but surely Mouse's defense is getting little down, but no, Sexy Bambo teleports in, and well, Sexy Bambo will take the fall. Split Earth is doing so much damage. Sexy Bambo is taking a lot of damage. Pygat gets hexed. G is going to focus on Puppy. Midnight Pulse being dropped. Twista is going to die along with Puppy, and I think Puppy did buy back in that last engagement. He did buy back, so it is on cooldown. Meanwhile, they're going to chase for Vosa. Shackle Shot does not get latched on, and the Power Shot is going to do a lot of damage. Arzar is going to be the next one to fall. Arzar dies as well. Pycat, very low HP. Mouz doing the unthinkable, standing up to a very concentrated Navi push, but they managed to do it very successfully with a couple buybacks. And keep in mind, Lesh bought back and Sand King bought back. So Lesh lost a lot of gold in that exchange. So nice defense by Mouz.
That was the push that was supposed to end the game, or Navi planned it that way. Not only did it not end the game, 2 buybacks out of the picture now. Of course, Team Mouse getting a lot more items as the game progressed. We see Blink Dagger being picked up on the Shaker. And if you think Fire is playing well right now, keep in mind that he's not even near his potential. Blink Dagger will allow him to position even better. He's still dropping off great Echo Slams without it. Shadow Shaman died in the beginning of the team fight, but still have a drum to show off at the end of the fight. Bamboo dropped off a one-man Black Hole, but Kill Puppy forced the buyback. And to be honest, I don't think Black Hole is the biggest team fight advantage. It's the fact that they survived so long, and it's the fact that they're trying to defend their tower. They have to buy back immediately, and they're going to be right there. Radiant, when they're buying back, they have to run all the way across the map. So still, even though a hero buyback, it's 30 to 40 seconds that they're not going to be in a fight. But all these guys are saving for a buyback. The BKB was up on Sexy Bambo. He had mech as well, so he was very survivable. And another Blink Dagger being picked up, this time on Enigma. So I think Mouse, they are very confident, and I think...
Oh, bot lane! Do you see bot lane?
I'm watching it right now. What is happening? They're jumping on Havosi, trying to port out. Enchant Totem, do we have one? No, we don't. TP against 3. I gotta say, that's probably missed chain stun.
Yeah.
If you have a Shadow Shaman and a Shaker, and if you can't cancel a TP, that's a missed chain stun.
I think he was out of mana for the Hex, even though he popped the wand and all of that. So I think nice recognition by Avost. Forced the wards. Wards not really being too useful in this game, so that's not the biggest loss. It's not like they dropped an Echo Slam or anything like that. And I don't think Bruno used a BKB either. We're really seeing the power of BKB in this game. When Mouz pops their BKBs, I mean, if they just focus Death Prophet, they can lifesteal it back. There's not really too much that Navi can do against them. So BKB really showing its worth against Arzar and Leshrac and Night Stalker. Just doing a lot of work, and let's see, check out Pycat really fast. He has an Aghanim, he's going to go for that BKB, and the next Roshan is up. This is the key point in the match.
Yeah, I mean, the games could still go either way. Navi not having the advantage that they are enjoying previously. But if you get a couple of kills, if you get the Roshan and a Rax right here, the game's yours. So, you know, Dendi, again, talking about his interview, how they don't like to play the late game because one team fight will determine a game like this. It looks like Havos a little bit out of position. Will he be okay? He's losing HP rapidly down to half, and he's going to go down. Does he have buyback? Yes,
He does.
He does.
But that might be a Roshan.
Right now. I think he should be buyback right now. You cannot lose hero position, map position against a team that's doing Roshan. He does buyback immediately. He's going to port in and make sure that the enemy team don't get the Aegis. If you get it on Broodmother, probably the game's over.
Well, it's too early to call. Bruno is going to pop the BKB right off the bat. Not really too sure. Might be a misclick right then and there. Not going to have the BKB in this next fight, and I don't know if the buyback is off cooldown. It's probably off cooldown by now, and looks like Havos pops the ultimate immediately, and the burrows are going to chain in. Now we see, 60-hero managed to catch only 2 heroes with that black hole. Still very, very crucial. Bruno dies immediately, and can they do enough damage? Echo Slam being dropped on 3, doing so much damage, but this Exorcism is just breaking Mouz's back. No buybacks.
Not enough. That misclick on the Broodmother BKB cost him that team fight. He was taking so much magical damage. Sing Sing being chased, but the question is, do you want to chase Sing Sing or you want to go back for the Roche? It seems like they are going to go back for the Roche. Unfortunately, they are out of Exorcism at this point. Immediate teleport back here from Sing Sing. Question is Bambo alive? No, he's not. So no more Black Hole into triple kills by himself and a Aegis steal. At this point, I do believe Havos and his squad will get the Aegis, and that does not bode well. And we just talked about this a moment ago. The game is still anyone's, and I think if Navi gets the Aegis, it's a lot closer than anyone can imagine right now.
Right, the Exorcism cooling down rapidly, only 30 seconds left. They might just go for the push right now. I think they should heal maybe, but maybe they want to go while the Black Hole is still down, along with the Echo Slam. That's probably the most prudent choice of action, with those 2 giant ultimates off cooldown. Meanwhile, Puppy's going to defend the lanes, going to try to pick up a BKB of his own. No, now he's going to back off without the 2 ultimates. Not really too sure about this choice, but they are still ahead at the moment, so maybe they want to keep it.
Puppy didn't have any mana, so I mean, even if he went into the fight, he was not going to be useful. At the bottom lane, he farmed himself a BKB, so I mean, it's probably not what they wanted. Of course, they want to push down Rax, given that there's a couple heroes dead, but they simply did not have the resource to do so. They got themselves the Aegis, and so at this point, yeah, Mouz could come back and get themselves a little bit of map positioning, but those map positioning is not going to get them too much done. So let's quickly check out another round of item before the next team fight, as we see Team Mouz just big smoke gang coming in. We have a butterfly completely on G, so he's stealing some big DPS at this point. Sing Sing does have that medallion and a pipe finish and a force staff. Blink Dagger's up on fire and Enigma. That's pretty much it for all the items notable on Team Mouse. On the Radiant side, we have a couple of Ghost Scepters on these guys that are taking a lot of damage. BKB's up on Lesh as well. The Axe Scepter, I think it was finished a long time ago. Double Axe Scepter, one on the Pycat, one on the Sand King. I feel like these heroes are not really making a big impact in the game anymore. They're just a tanky force, but they don't do enough damage. Neither team really have big DPS spells anymore. So at this point in the team fight, it's going to be who outlasts the enemy team, and this is why the team fight's been going on like for minutes.
Yeah, indeed, especially with all these buybacks. Meanwhile, looks like the Black Hole is going to be up in time for the next fight. Maybe Navi, they're just going to go for it. They're going to try to push down the mid. Black Hole, it will be up in 10 seconds. I think it will be enough. And Mouz, they're not going to be able to put on much pressure, so they're going to only have to defend this Wax. They're not going to be able to force any sort of retreats from Navi, so let's see if they can stand the test. Another fissure block pinning Havos to the wall, but keep in mind this time he does have the Aegis. It looks like Puppy got completely ward trapped, and the BKB was popped, but all in vain. What a ward trap by Twista. Oh my god, that was ridiculous. 16 Elmo was so low. No, he manages to escape. by the skin of his teeth. The Rack still so healthy in terms of HP. Light of Heaven managed to channel a giant epicenter, picked up a double kill against the Earthshaker and Twista. Pycat is going to retreat, but no Puppy, no Light of Heaven, and Pycat is going to be next one to fall. Giant defense by Mouz Sports.
Mouz Sports survives yet another exorcism. Light of Heaven went down, wanted to get a kill against Sexy Bamboo, but he was juking non-stop. The ghosts were not quickly enough to follow him. His mecha healing him back up. Another defense up. The Racks only took a little bit of HP down, but of course it will be regenerating over time. Mouz, another defense closer to victory. More time for them to farm, more time to stack up on terms of items, more time to save for buyback. Whatever the case, they might need to deny the top tier 2 tower. I wouldn't even deny myself. I say just keep pushing out the lane, because that's 600 gold for the the enemy team that they didn't need to get. But hey, we're gonna say, you know what, we're gonna make it safe. Don't want to have a Puppy backdoor or tower or something like that, so they're gonna deny that.
Dude, that ward trap on Puppy, insane.
The fissure as well, that shut down everyone. The ward trap as well. They kept hexing him, they kept shackle shotting him, and Puppy again, a couple of times in a couple of last engagement, he died before he did anything. This is like the third time that happened. I don't think that's gonna be. I don't think they could win the game if Puppy keeps dying like this.
Yeah, and that's the second time that the Fissure has completely isolated the Krob from the rest of the team. This time, fortunately, Krob was tank enough, had the heart, and had the Ghost Scepter to survive that, and she still has the Aegis, so Na'Vi, they're still looking okay. Fire disconnects in the game, giving us a little time to catch our breath and get ready for the next epic team fight. You ready?
Earlier during the broadcast, you were talking about how maybe Team Dire is forced to pick into that Shaker, but that Shaker pick is what keeping them in the game right now, because some of the earlier team fights, they were looking really down, but the Fissures on the right places at the right time, the traps were there. He somehow still walked in for the Echo Slams. I think that's the most impressive point, hit at least 3 or 4 heroes, and now with the Blink Dagger, he is hitting them on point, and that's all he has, a single Blink Dagger. But that's all he needs, because Fire is so good right now. There's so many intense moments. I still remember that War Trap moment. I still remember the Sexy Bamboo Black Hole triple kill moment. This game's not over, guys. There is a possibility of Game 3. Mouz being up 1-0, and Na'Vi trying to close this game out.
Well, maybe when Lewis talks, I should just yell.
Or not talk, maybe.
Oh, dang.
Right?
Yeah, I think a key point in this game is just to check out the buyback gold on everybody. And right now, it looks like, I don't know if Havos has enough. Sing Sing and Broodmother both have enough. And even Sexy Bamboo this late in the game, I don't think so. Maybe just a little bit more before you can get the buyback gold. Let's just check out really fast. Yeah, if he dies, he won't have enough buyback gold. So he shouldn't die.
Yes.
Cool story, huh?
He is going to lose about 600 gold, or 570 to be exact, when he does die. So he needs at least 1 kill, or a couple more creep kills. He's going to try to farm a wave, I assume, on the top lane here. They see Havos, that's going to latch. Uh-oh, Havos again getting caught out. Fissure's not going to trap any type of reinforcement. Seems like Mouz not really comfortable with going this dive. Barrel Strike's going to hit on Sing Sing. Ooh, he forced Saf out. The team fight's going to break out here. The Black Hole from Bamboo, is he going for right now? Havos drops off the Exorcism. Wards get dropped off. Are they going to focus on Havos down to half HP? He pops the Ghost, and he's going to reach in a little bit from the Heart Venom. So drops his ultimate. Looks like the Ghost takes out 1 hero, and looks like Mouz is on full retreat. Silence on Fire. Fire in a little bit of trouble. Fire's going to go down for sure. Black Hole on 2. We're going to see Chain Stun here from Fire, but the Ghost still doing damage. Echo Slams is down here. Havos is going to go down. It looks like Puppy's going to go down here as well. We do have the Aegis coming back from Death Prophet. No more ultimate though. Sexy Bamboo's finally going to die. Does he have the buyback? That's the question here. We do see Pycat dying as well. A Carnage going on the mid lane here. Do we have the buyback?
Oh, G is gonna lifesteal Havos. Fortunately, Fissure finally mistraps a little bit, but they're gonna turn on Light of Heaven. Light of Heaven is gonna take the fall again. Mouz somehow manages to take that team fight. How did that happen?
Does that team fight over yet as they're chasing down Havos, of course, with that insatiable hunger and the bite? They're slowing down Havos just enough. No, he's gonna just be too tanky. Walks back, Shadow Shot again. Havos giving him that lesson.
Ghost Scepter still on cooldown. Ghost Scepter.
Ghost Scepter, it's on cooldown. It's on cooldown. Yes, it's coming off cooldown right now. Power Shot, is that going to cut his head off? That's going to be a silence. He's going to try to walk his way in. Sing Sing diving into the fountain. Not enough. Man. Why am I surprised about Sing Sing diving into the fountain? Pretty common occurrence if you ask me.
Looks like Vos picked up the Shiva's guard completed. Meanwhile, Broodmother just did a lot of work in that engagement. We saw the power of Leshrac channeling for pretty much the entire team fight, but at this point, the dire supports are getting very, very tanky. They're able to sustain, or to survive the full duration of the Venomancer ultimate puppy, just channeling immense amounts of magical damage, the Exorcism doing so much work, and this is not a good sign for Na'Vi. They're still very much in this game, but they lost the Aegis, but one thing going for them, they picked up the Shiva's Guard, so Death Prophet is even tankier than before, but now I think they can just start focusing on everybody else on Na'Vi, because even with a lot of sustained focus on Death Prophet, she did not fall, but if they kill the rest of Na'Vi, then they can focus on Death Prophet afterward. Obvious statement is obvious.
Shiva's Guard seems like a defensive item in first glance, but I feel like it's a very offensive item as well. Because one of the biggest way to prevent the damage from the ghost coming in is to keep your distance away Death Prophet. The attacks, well, I don't want to go too deep in the mechanic, but if you're closer to the enemy unit that you're attacking, your ghost will hit more frequently. And if you're Shiva's Guard popping it, hey, you're going to get more damage going in. Twista, trying to bait out a couple of fights. They're waiting for Crop to go in. Fire is just waiting for that Shackle, waiting for the Fissure Trap. Has been doing so well. Crop just taking a little bit of pot shots, no big deal. He does have the hard regen. He's hasting in. It's going to be okay for now. Wow, looks like we have crits up on the Broodmother as well after that completed Butterfly. Has buyback, assume? Yes, he does. He's ready. Here comes the Volts coming up on high ground. Fire trying to get off some stun, losing a lot of HP. Burrow Strike comes in. Shackle Shot, that's going to latch on Light of Heaven. Broodmother lost a bit of HP. He's trying to right-click in and regen, but right now he's running away. BKB's going to down for the next engagement and the ultimate. I think they're going to wait it out and then go on the high ground. Yes, they are. They're going to go in right now. War's Wrap defensively. Mouz still trying to hold on, but this doesn't look too good. Shackle Shot, that gonna latch on 2 hero. Are they gonna jump? Black Hole on 3. Where's the follow-up? Sanking challenge ultimate. He does jump in there as well. No follow-up here from Team Mouz. Navi's gonna win this fight. Yes, indeed. Here comes Puppy. He's alive in this fight. He's dishing out big damage. Sexy Bambo dies. Everyone dies.
Oh my god!
Navi is gonna finally break the high ground. 46 minutes in the game. Glyph is pop, but that's just delaying the inevitable. Are you gonna see Navi? Are they gonna go for the top racks? Or are they gonna go straight for the throne? That is the question right now.
I just have the biggest grin on my face after that. I mean, just... Did you see Light of Heaven? That was perfect! I mean, Sexy Bambo channeled a massive black hole on 3 heroes, but Light of Heaven just immediately isolated the Earthshaker, brought him down before Earthshaker could blink in, follow up with the Epicenter. GG go next being called by Twista, and I can't believe it. What a sensational game. One of the best of TPL Season 2 so far.
We are gonna go to game number 3, guys. Navi still got it. The game was almost out of reach. But not for Navi. They're gonna take down the Ancient Fortress. Woo! 39-39 is your final score. As Navi took this game from the grasp of defeat. They just yanked it back. This is a broadcast brought to you guys by DotaCommTears.com. We're gonna be coming up with game number 3 just momentarily. Don't go anywhere, guys.